Welcome back everyone, hope y'all doing well. In this video, I'll be teaching you a new way how to use the fireball, and it is so powerful that you can actually swag your RC, which I'm going to show later in this video with the 2 replays. That's right, we're using mass baby dragons. So without further ado, let's jump into the army comp. This is the army that I've cooked up. Now, I love using fireball rocket loons, but I was wondering if there was an easier way to use the fireball with that type of approach, because it felt quite hard sometimes or inconsistent using the rocket loons. Very powerful, but sometimes you would lose a lot of firepower for some reason. So I was brainstorming, I was testing with other troops, and one of the troops that I found really strong was the baby dragon. It is so powerful, especially when you put them at a very good angle where they don't collide together and they actually get their rage boost. They do so much damage, they deal so much cleanup, they are amazing and very rapid. And you can swag in most of your attacks your RC. Like in the 2 replays that I'm going to show later on, I've swagged the RC without any problems. So without further ado, I'm going to talk about the troops, the spells, the siege machine that I use, my CC, and the heroes. Let's start with the troops. This approach is basically a warden charge into a fireball. So I'm going to do a warden charge with 5 healers and few cocoa loons to test for any traps. I can actually save 1 or 2 cocoa loons just to test the area for my baby dragons if I decide to place them at a certain area and needs to get some value. Now, obviously, 20 baby dragons. This will be the star of the show. They're very powerful, they're very quick to clean up, and when they're all in a bulk, they're extremely powerful. They just destroy everything. If you're able to, try to angle them where they won't collide together, because if you get them too close, they will lose their rage boost. But if you're able to put them at an angle where they won't be too close, then this is where it's the perfect value that you can get with them. So very important to practice, if you're using this army, to place them at an angle where they won't be too close together. That being said, since we're doing a fireball, we also need to do a hero dive. And the best way to do a hero dive is basically using 2 wall breakers just to open up the walls. That way they can enter the compartment. Obviously you have spells to support them, like skeleton spell, which I'm going to talk later on. But basically that's why I have 2 super wall breakers to help my king and my queen to enter the base and a compartment. That way it's going to clear off the base quite fast. To support them further, I have 1 ice golem, which can mitigate a lot of damage and freeze the area. I have 3 headhunters just to destroy any types of enemy heroes. And I have 1 barbarian to test the area for any types of traps like skeleton traps or Teslas. That way I can place my flame flinger if I find a good value for it. Now to the spells, I have 4 invis spell and 2 earthquake spells. They're basically used for my warden. The less you use your invis spells, the better value you'll get, because you can actually use your invis spells later on that you have saved to save other heroes. But that's the setup. So 2 earthquake spells, and just before I continue, I have a level 23 fireball. I usually have a level 21, but I decided to upgrade it to level 23. So it's basically the same value, except that with the 2 earthquake boosts, you can actually destroy the ricochet cannons. So that's the only difference with the level 21 and level 23. So not too big of a difference, but can be a big game changer if you want to destroy those ricochet cannons. I have 1 rage spell that will be used for my warden so that the healers can actually boost the healing on my warden so that he doesn't die, and also has the damage output, which is pretty good. I have 1 free spell just to freeze anything like the monolith or single inferno or the geared up defense, or let's say an enemy hero, just in case. They're very useful. So I just have 1, but that's more than enough for this army. And last but not least, I have 2 skeleton spells. They're going to be useful for my hero dive. Very useful to mitigate a lot of damage. Let's say the monolith, the single inferno tower, the geared up defense, etc. It is very good for them. They're going to live so long, and if you place them correctly, you'll get so much more value. It is ridiculous. For the siege machine, I would usually use a scatter shot, or I mean a flame flinger, but because I have 20 dragons and I don't really have like any tanking troops, I guess you could replace like 2 baby dragons with a yeti and 2 archers, but what's the fun of this, right? Like it's not that fun. So just 2 baby dragons like that, so I have 20. But if you wanted to make it easier and always use a flame flinger, you can always remove 2 baby dragons and add a yeti and 2 archers. But we're not going to do that. Instead, if you cannot find any good area, you can actually place the log launcher to do a kill squad with your king and your queen, which is going to take a lot of value. Or if you feel comfortable, you can actually use the battle blimp to send it into one area and destroy the entire area with it. So here I have in my CC 1 rage spell and 1 poison spell. The rage spell can be used to further the healing boost boost for my warden just in case I need another one. Or if you don't use it, you can use it for your hero dive or even your RC. For my CC, very simple. I have 4 super minions. They'll help to clear off trash buildings around after getting the value from the flame flinger. I have 1 balloon just to test for any traps around the area to save my super minion. And I have 1 minion just for cleanup as a filler as well. And 1 poison spell, of course, just to deal with the CC just in case I don't destroy it. Last but not least, for the heroes, because I want as much value as possible with the king, I've paired him with the Phoenix so that he gets revived and can tank further and destroy any types of trash buildings or defenses. I've paired him with the Earthquake Boots and the Spiky Ball. The Earthquake Boots is going to open up the compartments so that way he can advance with the Queen, and the Spiky Ball can actually cripple buildings around. So very good value. For the Queen, very simple equipment. I'm going to pair her with the Giant and the Mirror. The Giant is basically like an extra tanking unit, so basically like a mini hero. Very strong, very tanky, and very powerful as well. And the Mirror is basically to create a lot of burst damage in an area. That way she can destroy everything in a flash. And of course I've paired her with Frosty because the Frost Mites are so useful, especially the 3 Frost Mites. They're so good with her. It is insane. Good mitigation of damage on defenses, and the Frostmite can actually take the aggro for a little bit on some certain defenses. So very important to have Frosty. It's very strong. The value is very important. For the Warden, very simple. I've decided to pair him with Sneezy. You can also pair your Warden with the Angry Jelly, which I would also recommend. It's up to you. I love the Angry Jelly as much as I love Sneezy in this attack. You decide. I have other videos using the Warden Charge Fireball strategy using a lot of the Angry Jelly. I have also other strategies using Sneezy. Both are very good. I'd say that Sneezy, you would use it if you know that you won't trigger the Clan Castle troop. And for the Angry Jelly, I'd use it just in case I need to destroy a lot of defenses quite fast because of the Fireball value that you can get without using too much invis spells. So that's the only difference. So obviously I have the Rage Gem because it helps to boost the damage output and the attack speed, as well as the healing output of your healers. And last but not least, I have the RC. Very simple equipment, very simple pet. The Spirit Fox is going to help mitigating a lot of damage when she becomes invisible. The Electro Boost is going to kill any types of skeleton traps around her, and the Rocket Spear is going to destroy defenses at a very long range. That way it's going to mitigate a lot of damage and she won't die right away. So that's the army. Very simple. Let's jump into planning. For the planning, we're going to search for a good fireball with the Warden charge. Thereafter, we're going to send our hero dive somewhere in the base, and after we can send our RC either with our Warden or with our hero dive just to support. That's it. And also the Flame Flinger, don't forget. If you cannot find a good value with the Flame Flinger, then you can choose another siege machine like the Battle Blimp or the Log Launcher, even the Siege Barrack if you want. But other than that, that is your preference, and let's jump into planning. So let's find the best value, and I think that the best value could be, let's say, this Builder Hut, because it actually gets this Poison Tower, this Clan Castle, and this Monolith, as well as this Air Sweeper, which honestly you don't really care, but it could be good value. So honestly, I think that you can send your Warden at the bottom right here. Be careful with this air defense because you don't want your Sneezy to get targeted right away and die right away. You'll lose a lot of value. So I'm just going to place him a little bit towards this area. I think he's going to survive. You can also place a Rage Spell. I think that's going to be necessary because of this X-Bow and this Ricochet Cannon shooting on your Warden. But other than that, he should be able to destroy those buildings quite fast and quite efficiently. You can also place a Baby Dragon on this fire camp. That way he doesn't tend to target other defenses and delay your Rage Spell value. So very important, Baby Dragon right here, another Baby Dragon right here. And honestly, because this X-Bow is going to get tanked and destroyed by your Warden, you can actually send your Flame Flamer on this area right here. So that way he can destroy those buildings around. So that's going to be good value. So obviously you need to retarget your Warden right there on the Town Hall, which I think is going to be a great idea and very safe as well because you won't be in the range of the Fire Spitter. So you want to send your Warden obviously here, destroy those buildings, use Baby Dragons to destroy the buildings, and then after, once you're in this area, you can actually invis this building. Whoop, let me start. This building right here, this building right here. And after, you can invis those buildings, and if you need, you can invis this building right here. Be careful of this hidden Tesla. I think you need to destroy it before sending your fireball, but I think you'll be able to. So don't forget, you also need to destroy this archer tower at the bottom, and after, you can send your fireball and it should hit this poison tower hopefully, and not this multi-inferno tower. So you gotta be careful with your Warden's positioning. Actually, our target is actually this Builder Hut. So if you still hit the poison spell tower, I think it's still going to be good value. You still destroyed this area. The Monolith, you're not going to be scared of it, especially with the Warden charge. It's not going to be enough to destroy it. Maybe this geared up defense is going to be enough, so I recommend to place maybe one skeleton spell right here to mitigate damage once the Warden arrives in this area, and also invest a rage spell if needed. Other than that, you need to destroy this multi-murder tower because it's going to be dangerous for your Flame Flamer. So once this is destroyed, your Flame Flamer can actually continue its value and destroy this area right here. Your Warden, once you get the fireball value in this area right here, you want your warden to go in this side, okay? On the town hall. You want him to destroy the town hall. And if your warden decides to go this area, okay, where your flamethrower is, on the right side, then you can actually send 2 baby dragons right here to retarget your warden into this area. It's going to be very useful. You need 20 spaces of troops to retarget your warden, and 2 baby dragons does the job quite perfectly. That being said, it's time to send your hero dive. And where do you want to send your hero dive? Well, you can actually send it from either here or from the top. Now, I believe that sending it at the bottom right here, especially behind this fire spirit where you can actually get it, I think is going to be very useful. So you might want to clear off certain trash buildings like right here, right there, maybe a few baby dragons right here. Be careful of this black air mine if there's one popping, or you're unsure of this area, you can actually send 1 balloon right here. Then after a baby dragon, and then after you can put your other value baby dragons around the base. Like you can send there like 3 or 4 baby dragons, even 2, because they're going to destroy this area. Be careful of this multi-archer tower. So other than that, you're going to wall break this area, and once those buildings around are destroyed and have a clear pathing with your hero dive, you're going to send obviously your ice golem, your king, and your queen. Once they're sent, you're going to wait and place your skeleton spell at the best area. So because there's a hook tower right here, I'd say around this area, okay? That way the hook tower gets disabled for quite a while. That way your warden is saved as well, and your hero dive is also safe. But I guess if you hook your king and you use your earthquake boost ability, you can actually open up all these compartments and you can get quite a lot of value. But honestly, I recommend to keep your king safe and not risk the gamble. So your hero dive is going to continue with this area. You can actually use either wall breaker right here if the wall breaker decides to go on the left, on the right, I mean, for any types of reason, because they love to do that. Then you can actually send maybe your wall breaker on this area. That way it's going to walk around and maybe destroy this corner right here, or maybe it's going to go on another area like inside. If your second wall breaker doesn't get enough value, okay, just use your earthquake boost right here and open up these compartments. It's not that big of a deal. It's going to be very strong nonetheless. So your hero dive is going to continue and they're going to destroy a lot of buildings. Hopefully this hook tower as well. If not, then that's okay. You still have a skeleton spell that can mitigate a lot of the hook tower target choices. But other than that, it should go down either way very soon. Now, during your attack, you also want to sprinkle other baby dragons around the base, like at the bottom right here. And once you arrive near the end, okay, you can actually send your RC right there or on this area, okay? It's you to decide. I'd be more tend to send her on this area because right here on the right side, the flamethrower is still going to get a lot of value. And don't forget about your super minions inside your siege machine, meaning they're going to get more value around and destroy all this area. So honestly, the RC, I'm gonna send her right there, okay? I think that's the best area to send her. She can destroy those buildings, and the scatter shot is going to save a lot of troops. And after, once you place your RC, you can actually place other baby dragons behind, and everything should all clump up in the middle. So your warden charge, your RC, even your super minions are still alive. And now you can sprinkle the remaining baby dragons around the base, which is going to be overkill. Everything is going to come inside. They're going to destroy everything. The base has no chance. Once you have few baby dragons still alive, even if you don't have any baby dragons still alive, you can still destroy the base quite easily. And don't forget that if you see that your hero dive gets a lot of value, you can still swag your RC, as I'm going to show very soon with the replays. So just to recap very quickly, warden charge, get the best value with your fireball. Then after, you want to place your flamethrower while that's happening. If you can't find an area, use your battle blimp, a log launcher with your hero dive, so basically a kill squad, or even the siege barrack, whatever fits your need. Then after, you want to sprinkle baby dragons around the base. Then after, you want to send your hero dive, so don't forget to funnel an area with baby dragons. And once hero dive got enough value, then you can send your RC if you need, either on the left, on the right, or you can support the warden or the hero dive. Then after, once everything's clumped up with one area remaining, then you want to send your remaining baby dragons and destroy the remaining part of the base. This attack is very strong. You will be able to swag your RC quite a lot of times. So that being said, let's jump into replays. Like always, I'm going to show the replay at 1x speed. That way you can see the flow of the attack. Then after, I'm going to analyze this base and this attack further in detail. So if you want to skip this replay and you want to go right away to the explanation, I'm going to put a timestamp right here and you can skip to this time. That way you can go and see the detailed attack. So without further ado, let's jump into the attack. let's remind ourselves that we're going to do a warden charge. Then after, we're going to find the best area to send our fireball. Then after, we're going to send our flame flinger or your siege machine of your choice. Then after, your hero dive, and then after your RC. And don't forget to spread some baby dragons around the base just to do some cleanups and to do some good funneling. So let's jump into the attack. So right off the bat, I went with an easy value. I could have gone for the fire spitter, which could have got this clan castle, this invisible tower, this single inferno tower, and all the around. I could have even just go for this builder hut, and I would have got a lot of value with this fire spitter, this clan castle, this multi-arch tower. But I've decided to go very simple and just to aid my warden charge. So I just decided to invest those two areas and send my fireballs on top of this single inferno tower, which I proceed to then send my earthquake spells to destroy those two ricochet cannons, this single inferno tower, and the rest of the buildings around to create a good funnel. So then after, I've placed my warden, my healers, a cocoon of course before the healers, and I believe I sent a rage spell just to keep my warden alive, just in case the earthquake spells haven't destroyed this ricochet cannon right there in time. With the combination of the damage of this X-bow would kill my warden. Luckily it wasn't even close, but just to be safer, I've decided to use the rage spell instead. I've sent a barbarian down there just for any ground traps like skeletons and even hidden Teslas. Then a baby dragon right here to tank for this Eric's bow, which is actually pretty lucky for me. That way my flame flinger can actually get good value. Unfortunately, I didn't really see it, but this mortar actually destroyed a lot of chunk of the health of my flame flinger, which honestly I couldn't do really anything because I don't really have troops just to destroy this area. I could have sent like baby dragons at the beginning, then after a baby dragon right here to destroy this mortar right there, but I feel like that would be too much investment. But I could have done that easily, that way my flame flinger can actually get more value. So honestly, yeah, I should have done that. Once I've realized that the hook tower was actually in range of, maybe not my warden, but very close of, because of the boogers actually showing it, then I've decided to place a skeleton spell right here. It's going to mitigate and disable a lot of defenses right here, especially the minion prince. And I'm going to send my hero dive right here. I decided to send my queen here, a wall breaker to enter this area, and a few baby dragons just to do some cleanup. That way my hero dive can actually go inside the base without going outside. So everything's going fine. My flame flinger just opened and released those super minions. They didn't get much value, but at least they get something. But it wasn't that impressive. They could have definitely got more. Then I use my earthquake boots right here to open the compartments. And then after, my warden will join with my hero dive, and they're going to walk around and destroy the rest of the base. I decided to sprinkle some few baby dragons. As you can see, I've decided to place them quite close, but they still keep their rage, so that's pretty good. See right here, I could have sent my baby dragons, like, let's say to destroy those buildings and keep one to angle it to destroy this air defense. But I just decided to spam them because I knew this attack was over. And I still had my RC. I've never deployed my RC in the attack, meaning this attack is extremely strong. And as you can see, I didn't get the best fireball value, even though I went with an easy one. I didn't get the best value with my flame flinger because my minion inside just died very quickly without getting too much buildings, as well as my flame flinger not getting a lot of value because of this mortar destroying it and taking a good chunk of the health. But other than that, for the rest, it was pretty solid. Baby dragons do a lot of cleanups around. They're pretty quick, and at the end of the base, they're just destructive. So I wasn't worried about this single air defense at all. That's the attack. Very simple. I mean, simple. It's a fireball warden charge attack. It's not simple. But I feel like with this variant, it's way more simpler and way stronger. So let's jump into the next replay. So let's not forget, warden charge, then place invis spell to target a single defense to get as much value as possible. Then after your flame flinger or your siege machine that you love. Then after your hero dive. Then after your RC if you want. You don't have to if you're able to swag her. And then after your rest of the baby dragons near the end. Obviously, you need to sprinkle your baby dragons throughout the attack just to create some funnel and clean up. So let's jump into this attack. So very simple so far. I've played my warden right here. Do a warden charge, destroy those defenses around buildings. I've placed a baby dragon here just to clean up. I've placed a barbarian just to test for any types of skeleton traps or for hidden Teslas. I'm going to destroy this mortar obviously with a baby dragon once the time will come. And then after, it's going to get good value around this base. I should have placed the baby dragon a little bit earlier because right now I got my flame finger a little bit crippled right here. This is never good. You never want that to happen. If it does happen, you're going to lose a lot of value because as you can see, a lot of health has disappeared from my flame flinger. So very important to keep an eye on it and destroy any types of mortar or tank it. I've decided to go very safe, very simple. Just 2 invis right here, target this building and destroy the remaining area right there. Then after, I've just decided to place my warden invisible just in case he was going further because usually with experience, sometimes when you do some fireballs attack and no buildings are around, your warden will just go towards the area and once the building is destroyed, the fireball, he's just going to go forward and he's just going to die like that. So can wait a little bit until your invis start to get off before sending your fireball, but you don't have to do that. I just decided to place an invis right here because nonetheless it's safer this approach. I've decided to place a rage spell just to heal my warden quite fast and also to deal a lot of damage because this monolith start getting my warden. Those 2 multi-inferno tower as well. I decided to place a skeleton spell right here to disable this geared up defense. A baby dragon to do some cleanup. I believe I sent a wall breaker right here to destroy it. Oh yeah, right here. To destroy this wall and to destroy it and open it. That way my hero dive can actually go inside and destroy this value. And after it's just walking. My flame flamer is still getting a lot of value right now. So right here, perfect value with my flame flinger, excellent. And now my super minions are destroying this area. Very good value, very solid. My hero dive is actually going inside. My king was actually going a little bit outside, which I was a little bit scared of. But with the cleanup right here on the outside, you can actually go inside, destroys the wall right here with the equipped boots, cripple those buildings, and everything can walk inside and destroy the remaining area. Look at that, I still have my RC, I still have a rage spell, I still have an invis spell, and I still have 14 baby dragons. Pretty neat. This is where I just started to sprinkle all my baby dragons remaining just to clear up those buildings and to also mitigate damage like this multi-archer tower. But other than that, I still have 5 baby dragons left. This base is completely crushed. Still have my RC in the background. Still have an invis spell just in case. This base had no chance to survive with the mass baby dragon strategy. That's the attack. I mean, you saw it. It's extremely powerful. I don't know why people are not using baby dragons with the fireball. It is so powerful. I feel like it's way stronger than the rocket loons, but I don't know about this. But I feel like they're easier and they get more value. They're more consistent and more forgiving for your warden charge, your hero dive, and for your flame flinger. So I really recommend this army if you love the fireball attack. I feel like it's extremely powerful, extremely consistent, and obviously you can swag your RC. You cannot see her in this attack bar. So very strong attack. In conclusion, I really love this attack. I think it's my new favorite variant of the Warden Charge Fireball. Instead of using the Rocket Loons and the Super Barbarians, I can use the Baby Dragons, and I feel like they get so much value. They're very strong. I think that it acts a similar way as the Super Barbarians Fireball variant, which they're extremely powerful, but it is extremely hard to get value with it. And I feel like with Baby Dragons, it just simplifies the thing so much. It is so good. So thank you guys for watching. Obviously, this army is going to be in the description below. I'm going to also make a variant of the Town Hall 15 so that if you're this Town Hall or Town Hall 16, you can actually copy it and use it as one of your main armies if you want to practice it. I'm going to do that eventually from now on. If you have any other armies that you want to recommend, send it in the comments below. That way I can cover them. And that being said, I'll see you guys in the next guide.